Welcome, Stampers, to Stamp and Go. I'm Sandy Harka, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and we are here on November the 12th for our next session of fun stamping. We get here every second and fourth Tuesday of the month for creating 3 cards from usually a single stamp set. If you would like free card kit for the cards we're making today, you can place an order using the host code below for $35, and you'll get a pack that has 2 of the supplies for everything we're making today. If you spend $50, you'll get that, plus you'll get an extra pack of embellishments. If you just want the measurements, then you need to be on my mailing list, because tomorrow morning I'll be sending that out to everybody on my mailing list. If you're not on the mailing list, it's real easy. There's a link below in the description section. Just click on that and you'll be on my list in time to get the measurements tomorrow. Okay, let's get started. All right, this is the set that we are using today. It's called Reindeer Fun. And I have to tell you, I am in love with this set. I've been using it a ton this year. And these are the dies that come with that set. Okay, you can see this is actually a fantastic little set of dies. It's 3 dies. They fit together and give you this awesome look. And you don't have any stamping. It's just really, they did a fantastic job when they set up those dies. I hope they do some more that way. All right, so let's get moving on the cards for today. This is the first card that we are going to create. So let's get started. We're going to first grab that white rectangle, and we're using the verse that says Christmas is better together. And we're going to stamp that in real red. All right, so let us ink up. Tap, tap, tap. That's looking good. And we're going to come up here in the upper right corner. Press and just kind of rock slightly to make sure you get all the top and bottom of those letters. All right, that's all the red we need for right now. So let's grab the snowflake. These are the snowflake stamp. And here is the garden green, which we are going to stamp them in. It's a Christmas fun. You can just make colors, do whatever you want. So we don't see green snowflakes except on these Christmas cards. So we're going to tap that lightly, very lightly, on the garden green. And then we're going to stamp randomly up here in this section. So we're going to come down about halfway, kind of fitting them in so they're interspersed like that. And you know what? I like the way that looks. I often have a tendency to keep doing it, and that's just because I like to stamp. So we're going to stop while we're ahead right now. All right, then the next piece that goes on will be this piece. It is part of the, it's called Take a Bow set of designer paper, and it's totally awesome because, oops, wait, I am wrong. This is not the one. I'm sorry. This does come from the reindeer set of designer paper. I'm thinking of another set that's in the mini. It is Take a Bow, and it is a gorgeous set that is very useful for making cards. All right, so I put a little bit of glue on the back of that. We're going to come up about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom and then just press that down. Okay, now we're going to lay that over to the side for a moment. I'm going to grab my my foam mat, and I have my die cut of the single reindeer. We're going to ink up our stamp, which looks like this. Okay, ink it up really well. And then hover over our die cut and stamp. Awesome. Okay. Now we are going to put this on this piece that we stamped with dimensionals. Excuse me. So we're going to put 3 dimensionals on here. We don't have to worry about the legs because they will stay up just fine. All right, and he or she is kind of leaping in the air. There we go, just like that. Now, we're going to make this deer a Rudolph. So I'm going to take my dark cherry blend and color one of the rhinestones. I'm going to try to hold this up while I do it so you can see. I'm using the nib end so that I don't ruin my brush end, because those are relatively delicate. So I'm going to color that till it's a nice pretty red. And we're going to pop that right up here on the nose. So now we have Rudolph. Awesome. Okay, lay that over to the side again. And we're going to grab our card base, which is in real red. It opens at the bottom. I'm going to give that a little crease there so it lays flat. And then our top layer is the Dashing Designs layer. It's that real neat folder that kind of is an all-over design but stays in the background. And if you've been watching, I use this a lot. All right, layer this over your card base. You have just a little bit of your card base showing all the way around. Okay, grab this piece, our focal point, pop on some glue, and center that right in the middle. Okay, nice. Then we have die cut our holly in the garden green, which is part of the festive set of papers. And we are going to cut this. I'm going to cut this middle one off, just like that. All right, don't worry. I'm not throwing that pretty glitter away. Oops, don't want that. Looking for my glue dots. Here they are. Glue dots and dimensionals are never to be found here. They're always someplace else. All right, I'm putting a glue dot right back here where they come together. And this is going right here on the corner. Okay. Now we're going to take that leaf that we just cut off, this one. We're going to put a glue dot back here. And we're going to pop that right there in the center. Now we have a trio. And then we die cut the berries from the cherry cobbler that's in that festive glimmer paper set. That is an awesome set. I love glimmer paper, and those colors in there are just fabulous. All right, so I put a glue dot back there, and we're going to center that right there in the middle of our little trio of holly leaves. And so your card is now ready for sending. Hope you'll like that one. All right, we've got 2 more to go. I love this set, so I'm having fun. So this is our next card. And we have a nice snowy background with a tree back there in the back. We have 2 little deer, and then Merry Christmas. So let us move on. I'm going to grab the label. It's white, so I'm going to put it on top of my silicone mat just so we can see it. And we're going to stamp the Merry Christmas in Balmy Blue. Okay. So we're going to ink this up well. Tap, tap, tap. And we're going to center that over the white. Rock it slightly to make sure we get the top and bottom of all those letters. And while I'm at it, I'm going to clean that because we need that in a little bit. Okay. Let's put that onto the front. So on the back side, we're going to add 2 dimensionals before we lay this over to the side for use in a few minutes. All right. Then I'm going to bring back my foam mat. Let's close this up. Get rid of that. And we're going to grab the die cut of the 2 deer, mama and baby. And we're going to ink that up in black ink. And that doesn't matter. I'm using Memento, but you can use whatever black ink that you have on hand because we're not doing any coloring. So it doesn't matter which black ink you use. So I'm going to hover over my die cut here and then press really well. Okay, very good. So let's pop. No, that is not dimension. So let's just lay that over to the side. And now we're going to grab, we have, let's get rid of this. So we don't need that right now. Let's take a look at the tree. Now this tree is from a different set. It's the evergreen set that we have separately. So it has 3 sizes. So this is the small one. So we cut the base in white and we're going to flip this to the back side and pop a little bit of glue just down here in the center. Don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. And then we're going to center that on the die cut. Okay, just like that. All right, you can leave these little, the branches up. Kind of gives it a little bit more of a 3D look. Then this is the top layer of the card that we're going to be using. So I used the frame die from the reindeer set, and then I put it through the textured tile. It's called distress tile. I can never remember that word distress. I always have trouble with that. Distressed tile embossing folder. And that gives it a lot of depth and character. Okay. So we're going to flip this to the back side. Now we're at the back side of our top layer. And we're going to pop on dimensionals. Okay. I'm going to make sure that the center part stays popped up. So I'm being real careful to place them so they're not going to be shown, but they're around the circle there. And I'm going to put a couple down here at the bottom. Okay. Whoops. Stuff sticks to me. All right, now we're going to take off all the top layers of our dimensionals here. Now, if you have trouble getting those off, remember you can put your fingernail in the center. That raises up the edge, and then you won't have any trouble trying to nab that edge there. Some people have a little trouble with that. Okay, now we're still on the back side. We have a blue piece of Balmy Blue, and we put it through the Snowflake Sky embossing folder. And so we want this piece, I'm turning it now upside down so that it's upside down, will face out. And we're going to cover this area of where the die cut is, just like that. Okay. Now, you'll notice that this is not going to stick to our card front. So we're going to add a little bit of glue here. And the bottom part is definitely going to stick because we still have dimensionals there. So I'm going to bring over our card base, which opens at the bottom. And you know what? I'm going to give that a good little crease so it stays flat. And we're going to turn this over now and center it on our card front. Just, whoops, it slipped on me there. I did not want that to slip. Let's see if we can pull that up. Yes, there we go. And we're going to layer that back there again. I'm going to hold that bottom up so that it doesn't stick before I'm ready. There we go. Now we're going to grab our tree. And this does not need to be dimensioned. So we're just going to put a little glue on the back side and slip that underneath here, just like that. So now we have a tree in the background. Nice. And we are ready now to grab our deer. And we're going to put some glue on the legs. We're going to leave the body unattached, so it kind of has that 3D look. And we're going to put that right here, kind of right in the center. So if the tummy comes down right past where that circle was, you've got it in the right place. Then we're going to take our verse here, take off the toppers, and this is going right under the feet. So right down here and try to center that. Perfect. And we're going to grab 3 rhinestones, and they are going to go in here and give us a lot of cool sparkle. And And there we go. Your card is ready for sending. Isn't that pretty? I like that. All right. Now we are ready for card number 3. Now this has a ton of color, does it not? Isn't that a pretty Christmassy card? This is the paper I was talking about. That's from the from that Take a Bow designer paper pack. It's got 48 sheets in there, 12 sheets of each design. So because they have a front and back on each page, you have 8 designs and 12 sheets, which makes it awesome for designing cards because you have plenty of a single design to work with. All righty, let us begin. So we are going to work first on our focal point, which let's work on the circle first. So this is the deckled white, and this is from the Spotlight on Nature set of dies, and you will find this so useful. I have used it a ton and a ton. All right, let's center that on the white circle because we want to make sure that we see all those pretty decorative areas that we have punched out, okay? All right, let's lay that over to the side. We're going to grab the 3 pieces of the die cuts, and you can see how they did those so that you get this pretty, let's see, this is the front side. Let's make sure I got, yes, front sides are showing. We're going to take the crumb cake layer, put a little bit of glue on the back side of that, and then just center it. And I usually start down here at the bottom and work up. Just make sure that the ears and the neck are in place and the rest of it falls in place. Then we're going to take the pecan layer. And again, I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. And we're going to flip that over and start down here at the bottom and the head. So if those 2 are in space, then the rest of them are in the right space also. All righty. So we're going to lay that over to the side. And you know what? I just realized I've lost my wreath. So you'll see there is a wreath here. I'm not seeing it here, so it's around here someplace, and I'll find it probably on the floor after a while. So we are going to go ahead and work with this, and then I'll pull down the card there, and you can see that for your final. We're going to take the twine. This has got the red and the white mixture of twine, and we're going to grab a glue dot and roll that up into a little ball. There we go. And I'm going to pop that right here on the deer's neck, like that. All right. Now, if we had this wreath here, and I'm taking a second look, I don't see it, so it's probably floating on the floor someplace. All right, we are going to add a dimensional to the back of the deer, just like this. And then that is going here in the center of our circle. So you'll see the antlers are sticking out up here. Awesome. And while we're here, we might as well go ahead and work with the rhinestones to give that a little bit of sparkle and shine. All righty, there we go. And then the last thing that we're going to do is stamp our greeting, which we're going to use the Merry Christmas again. Going to ink that up. And you know what? Probably we can use our mat here so we can actually see that white. I can't stamp white on white. All right, now we can see that label. Rock it slightly to make sure you get the top and bottom of all those letters. And we're going to close up that red ink because red ink gets everywhere, does it not? Okay. Now, we are going to leave those 2 sitting there. We're going to grab this plain white layer, and we're going to assemble the designer paper on there. So let's get this out of the way and bring down our first. Now, this is the bottom one. So we're going to add a little bit of glue And this is going all the way to the edge. This piece here is acting as your sort of your template for putting on the designer paper. The next layer that's going on will be the top piece, which is this one. And this is going all the way up to the top and sides of this piece of white. Okay, so now you can see how this is working, right? You have a template, so you don't have to worry about making it straight. So we have 3 pieces next that are going in the center. We're going to leave about 1/16 of an inch in the middle, between the 2 pieces there. All right, and we're going to, there you go. So that's about that much. Okay. We're going to do the same thing with the one down here at the bottom, and you can see the rationale for doing it this way, because if we have a little bit of juggling to do, the center is the best place to put that. All right, and so now we have our centerpiece, and it looks like that's working out really well. But like I say, if you had any juggling to do, this would be the space to do it in. All right, center that. And we still have about 1/16 of an inch showing in between those. Cool, cool, cool. All right, our card base is white, and we're going to give that a little scrape to make it lay flat. And then we're going to flip this to the back side. And center that on our card base. All righty. There we go. Now you have about 1/8 of an inch showing all the way around. Cool. Now we're just going to glue this piece in the center. This. And so it's easy now for you to center this because it has equal amount of the designer paper showing at the top and the bottom. And then just look at it side to side. Now this one, we're going to flip to the back side. And we're going to put a couple of dimensionals on there. Awesome. And we're going to center that. I'm going to make sure I get under the twine there. We're going to center that right down here so you can still see a little bit of the designer paper, but not much. There we go. And this little twine will then kind of lap over it. I'm going to bring back the one that has the extra wreath there because you can see that makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Yes, I love that one. I think this is probably my favorite, although I really had a tough time picking my favorite from these cards. I really loved all of them. So I hope that you really enjoyed this evening. If you'd like a free kit to make these cards, you'll need to place your order using the host code below for $35, and you'll get a set of 2 of each of the cards. If you give an order for $50, then you'll get an extra set of embellishments. If you just want the supplies, you'll need to be on my mailing list. That'll come out tomorrow morning to everybody on my mailing list. If you're not on the mailing list, don't forget to sign up tonight so to be sure to get those measurements tomorrow. If you did enjoy the stamping, please like and share and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I would very much appreciate that. And also, we have Zoom classes every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can find out more about that if you're on my mailing list, and you can also go to my blog and look under events to get the info there. So I, again, hope you enjoyed this evening. We'll see you back here on the 4th Tuesday of November. Take care.